You can do it. Whoa, there we are. That was weird.
And we are there.
Son of a gun. Look at that. Just boom. And Audrey and Paula. I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. Is it no pants Monday? Huh. Huh. Got nothing in my brain. What? No way. No way. Save the emergency department for real emergency. Rush to. What?
Mojo50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. Almighty Mojo50.
All right, just when you again think that the day is going to go one way, you see something, and the day takes an immediate left-hand turn, and it goes a completely different direction. This from the New York Post: an Army bomb squad rushed to an English hospital after a man was admitted with a World War II era munition shell stuck in his rectum.
Stuffed in his ass.
What the hell is wrong with people?
Was a hell of a party.
Man, does he remember it? That's the question. The Army Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team rushed to Gloucestershire.
Can he get compensated from the military for an old Army injury?
Wow, I'd sue. I would sue. So the Army Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team rushes to the hospital following the report that a patient had a munition in his rectum. Rectum damn near killed him. The item had been removed prior to police arrival, and the Army's Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team were contacted. They confirmed the round was indeed not live. Well, that's unfortunate. Where's the excitement in that? I mean, if you're going to shove it up there, where's the excitement in having it be a dud? Incident.
True.
I mean, seriously, if you're going to go big or go home, don't be doing this. It's a dud crap. Sorry.
Look, I think he was going big as it was.
Sources told The Sun the man had slipped and...
Bullshit. He slipped and fell, and it jammed in his ass.
I was
crap.
walking down the street, and there was a banana peel, and the next thing I knew, this thing was wedged so far in my rectum, I didn't know what had happened. This is... Hospital spokesman told the paper, as with any incident involving munitions, the relevant safety protocols were followed to ensure that there was no risk to patients, staff, or visitors at any time. He is expected to make a full recovery, although his reputation is in tatters. Now, the question being, did they have time to put on their PPE prior to treating this man? Think about it.
They were probably wearing hazmat suits.
It's possible. What do you wear? What do you wear as a doctor to remove a suspected bomb from someone's butt? There's no amount of PPE that's going to help you. And so there we begin this December 6th, 2021 on the Daily Mojo. Two old fat white guys. I don't know how you possibly top that. We should probably just quit while we're ahead. Thank you, Leprechaun, for bringing that one to our attention at the last possible moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's we are the countdown for Christmas stands right now at 18 days, 16 hours, 52 minutes, and 87 seconds from Mark and Mark. It's just the world is upside down. It's been upside down now for a very long time. I think it's been upside down for so long we're damn near righted back up again. We're going to have a discussion this morning with Nathan Nipper, who has written a book. It's right up here on the front. It is called Life on Christmas Eve. It is a novel, and I will tell you, I've known Nathan for some time. Nathan is one of those guys. He's the quiet one. You got to watch out for Nathan. He's always
Sneak up on you.
He's just a quiet one. He's just one of those quiet guys that goes about doing his job. He's a writer over at the other place, and he's very good at what he does. He's quiet. He flies under the radar. Very smart, and I'm happy for him for this book to have come out, because it's quite a story behind it. Speaking of doctors saying they can't get into their PPE, that's what doctors are saying over in England. Doctors at a leading health trust in London say they're losing valuable resuscitation time for, let's say, heart attack victims because they don't have time to put on their full PPE.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's where that's where we are now. That's where we are. People come in with with symptoms of a heart attack, and now doctors don't have time to put on their full PPE so they don't catch the China virus. Mail on Sunday has been told patients in cardiac arrest had ended up dying because doctors are obliged to put on the COVID protection equipment, which of course takes time. Why shouldn't they just be like firemen? Be sitting around waiting? Don't firemen like sleep in their full?
No.
They don't?
No.
Well, that's dumb. Why not?
No, but they have trained and to get into their gear pretty quickly.
When they jump on the pole, doesn't. Sorry.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
So seriously, when they jump on the pole, don't they just slide right into their pants?
No,
Is that what they do?
No, their pants and boots are somewhere stacked together, ready to go.
That's what
They throw
Batman
on their
does.
jacket.
Batman hits the
But
pole.
it's literally boots, pants, and a jacket. It's not like, zipping up a jumpsuit and
Well, it should be.
throwing on gloves and
They should just do the Clark Kent bit, jump into the. Well, now the Clark Kent bit is a little different, just to kiss his boyfriend on the way out.
ugh. What are you doing in that phone booth?
What the hell? And now he changes at a rest stop. It's a little different. Although the guidance from Public Health England, that would be PHE, is that they're strongly advised that there is no potential delay in delivering this life-saving intervention for COVID reasons. It's still left to healthcare organizations to choose whether or not to advise their clinical staff to wear FFP3 respirators, gowns, eye protections, and gloves when performing chest compressions. Oh, that's the other thing. Now, did you know that the I don't know if it's official. I think it may be now that with CPR, it used to be push, push, push,
Yeah.
push, push, push. Now it's just push, 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 push. No more.
No more breathing?
All right. I'm pretty sure that is the new protocol.
That's a little bit weird.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to get out there and suck the COVID into your mouth, do you? Right?
Yeah, but they used to have.
Sure.
Well,
But do they? But this is according to emergencycare.com, the American Safety and Health Institute. I still remember the day when 2010 CPR and ECC guidelines were released, and the primary message from the news media was that rescue breaths were eliminated from CPR. So this has been 10, 11 years ago. But it really wasn't that simple. For people that became trained by lay providers of CPR, rescue breaths are still a critical part of their ability to perform CPR. They're still part of a standardized layperson training. Or are they? You know that women were dying because of
chest compressions.
yes,
Not being hard enough.
no, not only that, but people didn't want to do it. Why? They want to get
Touch a
sued.
booby.
Thank you. That's where we are. That's where the United States and the world is these days. You don't want to try to save somebody's life because he touched her boob while she was down
And unconscious.
right. Yeah, it's rape. I mean, did you ever think you'd live to see a day
Nope.
when the things that you look around in the news are this insane? It's just like common sense is, it wasn't just, it's dead and buried. It's like on fire and screaming and twisting and turning. It's the whole damn thing is so, I'm starting to agree with Watson. I think we're close. We're close to the sky just opening up and it's done. We are finished. You guys have taken this about as far as you possibly can. Because I'm not sure how much more stupidity I can handle. And there's a lot of it out there. A lot of stupidity. But we'll cover a lot of it. And at least it makes for 2 hours of interesting. Well, it makes for 2 hours of material. We'll just leave it at that. There's a Christmas tree shortage. Your Christmas now is going to be miserable because there's a shortage of Christmas trees, and quite frankly, there could be a shortage of food if you're not careful. If you don't get it all together right now and start getting and seriously lining up everything that you need for when the fit hits the shan, and it will. It's going to be on you. Don't come crying to us when you look around. Everything's on fire. There's no food on the shelves. And that continues to be the way when you go to Kroger.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, you start noticing the little gaps in the shelves here and there. And then one day you're going to go and there's going to be like 2 different kinds of bread. And how in the hell are we supposed to make it in a world where you only have 2 different types of bread to choose from? I want the America when there's so many types of bread that you spend 30 minutes on the bread aisle deciding which kind of bread you want.
Which bread can I have?
Right. And you have to check all of the labels to find out what's in all of the breads. There's pumpernickel and rye and
Oat nut.
oat nut. Who doesn't?
I like oat nut.
I do
bread.
like oat nut. You know, it's got the crunchy things in it.
It does. That's correct.
There is something about that.
Or a wheat.
There's just something satisfying about how that in the crust you chew. It's like having nuts in your crust. It is. There's just something about it. If you think that there aren't going to be surprises in the coming month, surprise. We're headed into the cold season. Now, even though here in Texas we're told that things aren't going to get cold, I mean, they're not going to fail if they do get cold. We're going to have electricity. It's that they're not going to let us down because of the government. They're here to help.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Right? Or don't see it. We have the mandate situation, which the courts have blocked all the mandates at this point for the vaccine. But does that mean that the mandates have gone away? I don't know. Go to preparewithmojo50.com. That is the portal which will take you to My Patriot Supply. That is the portal through which you can get your emergency food supply that will sit there for 25 years patiently waiting for all hell to break loose. And it will. I mean, in 25 years, look, we're thinking it may happen in the next, 15 months, but I can virtually guarantee in 25 years there is going to be a lot breaking loose. So just be prepared for whatever the world has coming at you next. That's at preparewithmojo50.com. And right now you can save $100 off the 3-month emergency food supply that will, again, last 25 years on the shelf, and just you'll be prepared for whatever it is. It's preparewithmojo50.com. The hashtag What I Learned Today is the best way to get in touch with the show, best way to let us know that things are falling apart, best way to let us know that World War II munitions are, in fact, still getting stuck in people's rectums. I mean, we thought that had been, that those days were long gone. Deuce 5, What I Learned Today, up is down, down is up. The grass is blue, the sky is green, everything is phenorked.
Phenorked.
It is.
I looked at that word at the same time you were about to read it, and I went, no.
See, thought he'd catch me.
Uh-huh.
But being a professional, I'm not going to, just jump right in. Not going to say that without thinking about it. We've also got some listener mail to get to. But first, the Christmas tree shortage threatening the holiday celebration. Pine, spruce, fir, they're all in short supply. Very sad. I think we need some sad music.
Pine, spruce, and fir. Okay.
The Christmas tree industry, much like other industries, grappling with supply chain disruptions, inflationary pressures. United States emerging from the coronavirus pandemic. Are we?
Just when we think we are, another variant comes along.
Right, exactly. Let's be honest with each other, because Omicron is still out there. It's still lurking around every Christmas tree. The unusually extreme weather conditions. Are they unusually extreme? If you were to grab...
I don't know. If you live in Hawaii right now, yes.
What's happening in Hawaii?
Blizzard warnings.
Ah, hell. Son of a...
Yeah, I'm not even joking right now. The Big Island.
Surely that's happened before, right?
I don't know. Everybody's talking about it now. You would
to have
think it
happened.
had gotten cold in Hawaii before, but
Is
no.
hell freezing over? Son of a... This year I've gotten a lot of calls from people asking about the shortage, asking if we're sold out, if we have any of the Fraser fir, because, and who doesn't like a little Fraser fir this time of year? Am I right? Of course I'm right. Because they can't find one anywhere else. This is according to Matthew Gallery, the owner of Almost Heavenly Christmas Trees in Alexandria, Virginia. Gallery told the Washington Examiner and that his primary wholesaler provided him with more than 2,000 trees last year, but could only part with about 1,100 this year. Is it just me, or every year prior to this, you drive by the Christmas tree lot, and after Christmas, there's like stacks of Christmas trees laying there that didn't get sold? Which, again, I'm not a tree hugger, but no sense in wasting them. But and these Christmas trees are grown on farms specifically for this purpose.
For that purpose, yep.
Right. So it's not like, oh, well, that could have been used for toilet paper or something else. Because in the end,
have you ever gone to a Christmas tree farm to cut your own tree?
No. Well, no. Been to one. Well, maybe I have.
I've been to one, but I've never cut my own tree.
I've cut trees down before, so.
Yeah, now we've had real Christmas trees, and they are a pain in the ass.
To keep alive?
Yep. Especially, well, yeah, because you got to. Yes, that's true. Because when that thing dies, oh my God!
Don't get close to it with a spark.
That's never exactly what happens.
That's never a good sound.
Boom!
It doesn't matter what you're thinking of. So to make up for the shortage and purchase more trees, he had to go to an auction held annually in Pennsylvania, in which tens of thousands of trees are offloaded in what's billed as the world's largest Christmas tree auction. Did you know those even existed?
No.
Had no idea. Said prices were through the roof compared to past years. Auction prices way more than double what they were. At the last minute, I had to raise our retail prices. As I'm out there bidding on these trees at the auction, I'm logged into our system to do that, so we had to raise our prices significantly. One problem affecting supply and prices is a trucker shortage. Trucker clock, who wants it? Talk to teddy bear. Remember that one?
Good buddy.
Just want to lay on top of you out of
Jeez.
respect for the way you handle your rig. Chris Spear, the president and CEO of the American Trucking Associations, recently said the industry is now down a record high of about 80,000 drivers.
Jeez.
Wait, I thought Buttigieg was all over this.
Now, Buttigieg is all over something, but it ain't this.
Son of, I thought I
Wow.
thought that they have, you know what, they're going to start counting truckers differently now. They're going to start counting truckers differently, so kind of like the ships off the coast of California. They count them differently, so there are fewer shipping containers out there in the Pacific Ocean waiting to be unloaded just because of the way they count them. So they'll start counting truckers differently. The year's extreme weather on the West Coast has not helped the situation. Oregon and Washington, major sources of the country's Christmas trees, felt the brunt of the record-breaking weather over the summer. Jamie Warner, executive director of the American Christmas Tree Association. See all the things you learn?
ACTA. Okay.
The ACTA. And let me tell you, if you've never been to their Easter party, oh, I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Why'd you choose Easter? They're Christmas trees.
Well, exactly. I mean, their Christmas tree party is going to be just it's going to be like every others, but their Easter party, woo! It's a double whammy: weather and supply chain problems really hampering the industry. Growers have been hard hit by floods, fires, smoke, drought, and extreme weather conditions. What is wrong with having an artificial tree?
Like I said, we've probably only had a real Christmas tree twice in my life. Otherwise, it's been artificial.
I mean, there are some diehard purists out there who absolutely have to have, I walk in and I can smell the pine and okay, but they make sprays now for that. And I don't know. And if you own a Christmas tree lot, sorry, I don't mean to be.
Look, if you grew up though with part of your,
Identity.
your Christmas holiday, whatever your family did get together
Traditions.
and traditions were to go out and cut your own tree or to decorate your own real Christmas tree,
Right.
then you try to live by that. You just do.
Right.
But today, I mean, with the millennials on, everybody's got artificial trees.
Well, guess what, people? Get the hell over yourselves and your stupid family traditions and all of that crap. The world has moved on. It's on fire. It's time for you to grow up, grow a set, and get a damned artificial Christmas tree.
Come on, dude.
Is that
Christmas traditions from back when we were young. Man, see, that's the thing I like about this
know.
time of year is you get to go back to those times in your memory, in your mind. I've been sitting around doing stuff out in the garage for the last 2 weeks listening to Christmas Traditions radio on Sirius XM.
Oh.
I love it. Bing Crosby. Come on, dude.
Have you been just all misty-eyed and...
I've been all, that.
Oh. I've been listening to true crime.
Really?
You've been listening to
Christmas Traditions.
sweet little
Thank
Chris,
you.
and I've been listening to people getting killed. And tells you a lot about the way we live our lives, right?
I guess. If I was trying to put a truck back together, I would do that too.
Yes. Oh, and Truck in a Box update coming up here in just a second. Laird Leprechaun using the hashtag What I Learned Today. Does it snow in Hawaii? The answer is yes. It snows every year, but only at the very summits of the three tallest volcanoes, Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, and Haleakala, and Kamanawanaleu.
And that's where the blizzard warnings are, is at the summits.
See, even that's fake news.
Yeah.
The whole damn thing is fake news. We also have a visit behind the barn coming up here shortly with Don and Donna, Don New and Donna Fiducia of Cowboy Logic, which is heard each week here on Mojo50 Radio. As a matter of fact, it'll be tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow at noon Eastern. Yeah.
But before we do that, remember, go to mojo50.com. Front page, right there, you'll find the Mojo50 2021 Christmas ornament, which is not for sale. And we're not just teasing you with it. You can get one, but only as a gift. It's our gift to you when you climb off some of that cash and donate it to us. Because quite frankly, it is not easy to to supply our addictions.
Yeah, so it says it says that we're going to do this until 12:10.
Wrong.
I extended it to 12:12, so at midnight Sunday night or midnight Monday morning this coming weekend, we will stop taking donations for the ornaments, just because we may not have time to get them to you before Christmas.
And we wouldn't want to lie to you.
And we don't want to lie to you.
No. I mean, we'll lie if we have to, if it benefits us, but in this case, no. So get there right now, mojo50.com. There on the front page, not only will you find the ornament for 2021, but you will also find the Doc Thompson 5 Rules to Live By cutting boards, which were the surprise hit of 2021. Were they not, Ron? I mean, we did not expect.
No, that's absolutely the case. And those, if you're trying to get one for Christmas, make sure it's done by 12/12, but those will be around after Christmas. So,
they will?
yeah, we'll just keep those going.
Oh, well, aren't we
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
See, well,
There you go.
a very limited time. They will be limited only to the time in which people are buying them. And once people stop buying them,
Then we'll take them down for
and
a
we
while.
will take them down. That's what we do here. We follow the trends. We have our finger on the pulse of your wallet, and we'll make damn sure. If we can extract some more, well, that's Ron. My job is just to show you the love from your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4Fs. Freedom.
Clear. Show you the love. Show me some love.
I'll show you some love. It's weird because, like, this hand doesn't have a bunch of grease under my fingernails. This one does.
Are you right-handed?
That's weird. You're right. How'd you know that? How did you know that?
I do not.
Oh. What's no harm if you think this is crack root. I'm not 105 at the church. Ouch. Ouch. I'm hot.
I'm not.
I am. He's a bald head now.
Eastern Mojo50 Radio. The Daily Mojo.
All right, Stinky Biscuit is casting aspersions. Ha! Brad is getting misty-eyed, reliving his family traditions. Hashtag true crime.
There is that.
Take us out, show us where to put the bodies. Florida man on safari. Why is real Brad Staggs yelling at us so early on a Monday? I need more APR coffee. That's a good point. And if you want to get your APR coffee in the mail prior to Christmas celebrations, you better go there now. I believe the deadline for coffee deliveries is what, the 15th, I think? Pretty sure.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 10 days beforehand. We can count on the postal service to get it there, can't we? Can't we?
No.
Well, we can absolutely count on Postal Pete, can we not?
Well, we can count on him.
Wait a minute, well, I said Postal Pete and nothing happened.
Oh,
Why did nothing happen when I said Postal Pete?
no, did you need something to happen?
No, I was just waiting for. I was hoping for Postal Pete, and when I was hoping for Postal Pete, once we hear Postal Pete, we'd hear, but we didn't hear it. Yeah, that's weird. That's
Is
exactly
that Postal Pete?
That's Postal Pete.
Yeah.
But I
okay.
didn't hear it the first time.
Oh.
You know what I did hear? All right, it's time to spend a few minutes behind the barn with Donna Fiducia and Don Ewan from Cowboy Logic, which of course airs every Tuesday at what time, Ron?
Every Tuesday at noon Eastern on Mojo50 Radio, and then again at 11 p.m. Eastern.
All right, what time in Swazietown?
I do not know.
Of course you don't, because you don't keep on top of things like that. Donna, you both look
They have
fantastic.
ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine at Swazietown.
Yeah, well, that's all you need. I've got mine actually right here. My horse paste and everything. So, all right, what do we need to be watching for on the horizon this coming week? Because it just seems like every week we move forward, there's something more and more volatile out there. What is it this time?
Don will take this.
Yeah, I want to jump in on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage each and every one of you to do the research about who the 1-6 detainees are. Try to find out where they're from, and then blow up their phone lines of their representative in the House of Representatives, their congressperson. It's appalling to me that we've got political prisoners inside of a jail in Washington, D.C., and the only people that have gone to visit and see what's going on down there are Marjorie Taylor Greene, Louis Gohmert, and about a month and a half or 2 months ago, Matt Gaetz.
Right.
Listen, every one of the 1-6 detainees is represented by a member of Congress. It's the closest connection we, the people, have to Washington, D.C. And these schmucks in the House of Representatives are not showing up to be vocal and represent their constituents who happen to be political prisoners right now. That's what I want to
stunning?
But you know, if it were the other way around, that the Democrats wouldn't put up with this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just going to say it's stunning. Every time I think about it, and I think about them often, I am stunned that we have, in fact, political prisoners in the United States of America in the year 2021, and it is not the front page story each and every day everywhere. It is.
That's because the media is part of the cabal. And the thing is, think of where we were a year ago. We had the best economy. Everybody, you know, the lowest unemployment across the board for any nationality, any sex, anybody, quite honestly. And now you're at the point where we don't even recognize this country. No. We're not going to make it another 2.5, 3 years with this jerk in the White House. It's just not going to last. No. Look what happened to Venezuela. It was almost overnight. And this brings me to what Mike Lindell is doing. You know, God bless the guy. He's putting his money where his mouth is. He was going to the Supreme Court. It got derailed a little bit because of all the situations with the emergency use authorization, because it's not okayed to have kids go on these vaccines. So a lot of AGs are fighting that. And that was kind of took up the whole time before Thanksgiving with Lindell going to the Supreme Court. So now what he's asking for, and I totally agree with this, everybody needs to email their attorney general, their state. I don't care. And unfortunately, we're here in Georgia, and Purdue is going to run. We're just finding out as well. So, but Georgia's part of the complaint. Still, though, you must get in touch with the attorney general of your state. Send him a very nice email, but a very forceful email, and tell him to get on board with this Lindell lawsuit, because the bottom line is we got to get rid of the machines, or else we're never going to have a decent election again in this country. It's obvious they cheat.
It's going to take a very long time. That's what I've finally come to the conclusion of. This is not going to change overnight. It's not going to change next week, next month, probably not even next year. This is going to take years to turn this around, because we've watched it, and I'm as guilty as the next person is of not having done my part to stop this train coming down the track. But it is going to take now years to turn it around, because they have so successfully finorked this country right into the ground.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
You said it perfectly, Brad. We've been sitting back watching this, and it's now time for action.
Yes.
As Steve Bannon says constantly, action, action, action. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, our audience, you are action people.
Yeah. Get your friends involved. That's the main thing.
And that's just
But
it.
Brad's right. It's going to take years unless we do something about it.
But you know what else, Brad? A year ago, like I said, we were sitting pretty. Everything was fine. If Trump got elected, I don't think people would see what's going on. What happened
Exactly.
is it forced the cabal to show themselves. It forced their hand.
Yes.
I mean, even with this Ghislaine Maxwell thing, chances are she's going to get off, but it's allowing people to see that the judge was on the take. Biden tried to bribe the damn judge into giving him a promotion or whatever. And the prosecutor is Comey's daughter, so you know she's going to do a half-assed job. I mean, but it does show people who weren't paying attention before, hey, you better pay attention now. Otherwise, the country's going to be gone. And maybe this is a good thing.
Yes.
I hate to see it because we're bottoming out, but maybe it is a good thing.
But and that's the one thing I've said about the past 5 years. I mean, we finally got to see who these people, these animals in Washington are. They poke their head up out from behind their little prairie dog holes, and we can see what they really are. That they are truly. I mean, they're monsters. They really, these people have no soul, and they're willing to do anything to sell us out as a country. And that was the one thing. They were so pissed off and terrified of Donald Trump that they were willing to betray their own position, and they did. We now know who they are, and we have to fight back, and we have to fight back harder than ever, or they'll just continue down this road with this puppet that can't remember when the 6 Day War versus the Yom Kippur War was in Israel. I mean that whole thing with him, and he just misstates. Trump lied.
The Senate then,
right?
He referred to it, and he wasn't even in the Senate at the time. And then what really gets me though is the rhinos that give him a lifeline. You've got all these rhinos. There is no way any of these trillions and trillions of dollars are going to anybody but to forward this uniparty that's happening and to push for open borders. We're seeing where all that money is going. You're going to give an illegal alien $500,000 almost.
Right.
This is insane. And the Republicans vote for this crap. The Republicans just voted for something that's going to call for a national vaccine registry.
Right.
Are you kidding me? All of them got to go. Starting quite honestly with Kevin McCarthy. He's useless.
Oh, they all are.
Useless.
And I think what you just said was brilliant. It is. It's the uniparty. We have the uniparty in this country, and we have the people, the Matt Gaetz of the world, the MTGs, the Lauren Boeberts, the people who are willing to stand up to the business as usual crowd, to the insiders, and do something at risk to their own reputation. But we have to fight the uniparty. Otherwise, we're going to go down in smoke.
And let me tell you what's happening here in Georgia, given what we just talked about. Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're trying, and the Republicans are doing all of the gerrymandering,
right.
I guess, because the Republicans are in charge here in the state of Georgia, in the Assembly, in the Senate, and whatever, the legislature. They are, this guy Ralston is trying to gerrymander Marjorie Taylor Greene out of her district. They're adding 30,000 new Democrats. And what is Ronna McDaniel doing at the RNC, the National RNC? She's going to run someone against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Right.
That's a rhino. So Marjorie's got to spend money on that. And they're doing it again also in Coweta County, putting one guy who was a congressman who called for a forensic audit of the state in Georgia, and they're going to gerrymander him into Fulton County, which is Atlanta, and that's 99% Democrat. So the Republicans continue to eat their young as usual. The Democrats circle the wagons, even though they have no mandate.
Now the time has come to stop funding the RNC.
Yes,
absolutely.
We all get their crap in the mail.
Yes.
Send it back with some colorful little slogan on there.
Be nice.
Yeah, no threats.
Right. Yes,
but send it back and send a message with it. And then take your money and dump it into a candidate that will win, that will remove a Democrat or secure a true conservative seat. You need to start funneling the money toward candidates and stop funding the RNC
Would it-
because it's a fraud.
Yeah, and get involved locally so you can oversee what's happening at your various precincts to make sure they don't bring in another 40,000 votes, which they did in New Jersey, in Bergen County. All of a sudden, they found 40,000 votes overnight, and Citarelli lost.
Would it
I
be
mean, come on.
improper to write on those on the paperwork you get from the RNC, kiss a good man's ass, put that in the envelope, and send that back? Would that be inappropriate?
Yeah,
Say whatever you want to, just don't make any threats.
Right.
As long
I've
as you
done a
add,
lot of stuff.
as long as you add and bark at the hole.
That's yes, and bark at the hole.
Bark at the hole.
And that is a great point. I did, and thank you, Ron, for that, because y'all have been made aware of Nick Searcy's Capital Punishment, the movie.com.
Yep.
And it is so important that we all share that, because when you watch that and you see, to kind of bring this whole thing full circle, when you see what the United States government and all of these alphabet agencies are actually doing against the citizens of the United States, it should terrify each and every person, regardless of which party you're in. Because
Yeah,
sooner
and
or
you know
later.
what? I think Donald Trump has to step up to the fact that, he has to admit, like we all were, that Anthony Fauci is full of BS and he shouldn't have listened to him.
Right.
And stop pushing the damn vaccine.
Yes.
He's not for mandates. I understand that. But he's sitting there saying how great it was that he got his warp speed in there. Well, remember when Kamala Harris said, well, if Donald Trump pushes it, I'm not going to take it.
Right.
So
right.
it's okay now that Biden's in there that they have these mandates. Trump needs to just kind of lay low on that, in my opinion. That's the one thing. And you're not going to agree on everything, but that's huge. And a lot of
that is-
people are not happy about it.
I'm looking in here for my blood pressure medication, because y'all have just set mine way over the top. In the meantime, Ron, the show, Cowboy Logic, airs.
Noon on Tuesdays, and then again at 11 p.m. on Tuesdays on Mojo50 Radio and iHeartRadio.
Excellent job as usual, Ron.
Thank you.
The Daily Mojo.
It's fun to watch Don and Donna get, especially Don when he gets all fired up. Boy, he gets pissed off. He gets,
We record those shows on Sundays,
yeah,
and they get some kind of riled up,
they
dude.
really do. He's,
Especially if they have the right guest on. God, dog.
so you can again hear the Cowboy Logic program tomorrow at noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern. Yeah, that's their first run is noon Eastern. And then they play the video that was recorded along with the show on Mojo50 Facebook page and YouTube, I think, at 11 p.m. on Tuesday nights.
And then the naked version is when?
I don't know when that is.
Okay, just check.
But they run that same show on the weekends on Real America's Voice. So
But we get it first.
yeah, we get it. First.
Damn straight. I want to thank Carol for the nice note that she sent. Brad mentioned popping his rib. I fractured a rib a few months ago. It hurt so badly I couldn't raise my arm up enough to put my hair into a ponytail, which is really kind of strange, Carol, because neither could I. I could not get my hair into a ponytail. Then my chiropractor suggested I try comfrey, also known as bone knit.
Bone knit.
Not bone it. Bone knit. There's a difference. Enunciation saves. I don't know, and thank you for this for the recommendation on the salve. I would like to I will need, of course, somebody. Ron, can you find somebody to rub salve into my rib?
Salve.
Salve.
Is it pronounced salve or
it is.
salve?
Do you want to rub a salve into my rib?
Salve.
Would you like to rub my ribs?
No, I'm not rubbing anything.
Are you sure? $100.
Not rubbing anything. Folks,
$1,000.
the issue with iHeartRadio was my fault. It's back now.
Well, it's nice to see you're finally taking responsibility.
That was my error.
And quite frankly, it's which is why we have the following public service announcement because of Ron.
The stigma and negative labels of Alzheimer's and dementia far too often prevent our seniors from seeking medical treatment and living the best quality of life possible. This is a cause that we here at the Trump Hates Puppies and whatever else we're trying to promote better foundation hold near and dear to our, well, as the man himself says.
It holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Stigma and lack of awareness have historically impacted disease research funding for Alzheimer's and dementia. That was, of course, before we successfully got a man suffering from those terrible diseases elected to the highest office in the land. In the future, misguided Nazi-like deplorable historians will throw around words like irresponsible and elder abuse.
It's nonsense.
Nonsense.
Join us today.
Right.
Make your donation to science at the Trump Hates Puppies Foundation for Alzheimer's and Dementia Research. Like other great humanitarians, Joseph Mengele and Anthony Fauci, we believe medical progress is not always pretty. However, sacrifices must be made to ensure a brighter future for
all men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Right.
With your help, we can end stigma and create a brighter future for those suffering with dementia and Alzheimer's. Perhaps before we end up with Kamala Harris.
Ooh, think about that. Fact check from CNN, and remember how when Trump said something that wasn't true, he was a freaking liar. That's all he ever did was lie. Lie and sack of lying lies. Biden, however, tells a completely false representation of history, and he's just inaccurate.
Yeah.
He was, this goes to his story about Golda Meir. For decades, he has been publicly recounting his 1973 meeting with then Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, which he described in 2015 as one of the most consequential meetings I've ever had in my life. But parts of the version of the story Biden told last Wednesday at a White House menorah lighting for the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah were not accurate. In other words, he lied. Most of the details of Biden's Wednesday account were the same or very similar to the details in his previous accounts. Biden said that Meir kept referring to a bunch of maps, that future Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was present, that Meir offered to take a photo with Biden, and that Meir painted a dark picture of Israel's security situation, but then assured him that Israel had a secret weapon in its conflicts with its neighbors. We have no place else to go, she told him. But two elements of Biden's Wednesday version were different than usual, and both of these changes were incorrect. One of the falsehoods was obviously an accidental slip. The other, more substantial. Biden began on Wednesday as follows, and during the 6-day war, I had an opportunity to, she invited me to come over because I was going to be the liaison, instead of me saying it, here's the president.
Saying to a couple of younger members of my staff before I came over, but many times I've been to Israel, I said, and then all of a sudden I realized, God, you're getting old, Biden. I have known every prime minister well since Golda Meir, including Golda Meir. And
I think that deserves applause, don't you?
during the 6-day war, I had an opportunity to, she invited me to come over because I was going to be the liaison between she and the Egyptians about the Suez and so on and so forth.
See, here's the problem. He earned his law degree from Syracuse University in 1968. He was elected to the Newcastle County Council in 1970. The 6-Day War was in 1967. He was 25. He was in college. He was not sitting there with Golda Meir. But it's just, with Biden, it's an inaccurate statement. He simply
Got Alzheimer's.
Right, he got confused. How do you, as a proper upper of the puppet in the White House, how do you justify this? It's either yes, he has dementia, or he is a liar. Which one is it? And either one should. And the problem is, he's got the best insurance policy out there, and her name's Kamala. Nobody wants her sitting in that room. Nobody wants her having the codes to the nuclear football, or as W would say, the nuclear football.
Nuclear.
So, again, credit where credit is due. This has, and I do believe that this has Obama's fingerprints written all over it. Kudos. Kudos to Barack Hussein Obama for creating the perfect weapon of mass destruction. And I mean, it's got a fail-safe on it. You can't tamper with the wires, because if you do, poof, Kamala goes off. There's nothing you can do about it. There's not a damn thing. You know what I noticed, Ron? If I move over just slightly this way,
okay,
I could record the entire. I could be saying anything at all. No one would
That's
ever
right,
be able
because
to
your
see.
mouth is right behind the monitor.
Exactly. So I could just be doing this, and no one would ever know.
You could be a pre-recorded show
forever, and you'd never know. See, and I'm a deep fake when I move over here. But they've created this perfect weapon. This Yutz can continue to do to wreak havoc in every corner of the country and of the world. And what do we do about it? What the hell do we do about it? I mean, in next year we can vote a bunch of these crackheads out of office, hopefully. So CNN goes on to speak. Biden misspoke about when his meeting with Meyer occurred. The meeting took place about 5 weeks before the Yom Kippur War in 1973, not during the Six-Day War in 67. More significantly, Biden inflated his importance to Israel at the time. There's no evidence that Meyer had any intention of using him as any sort of a liaison between Israel and Egypt. Can you imagine what in the hell goes on in this guy's head that makes him think he is that important? It's really, I would
not
say
sure
it's
much is going on up in there.
so disturbing that it's amazing. It's truly amazing that this guy. He also had some words to speak. This was on Saturday in the White House as he brought us some fabulous remarks on America's economic progress. I just think it sounds better with the musical accompaniment and at a possibly, well, you decide.
Workers in transportation and warehouses have seen their wages go up approximately 10% this year. Workers in hotels and restaurants have seen their wages go up 13% this year. And thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we've delivered significant tax cuts to families raising children. Tax cuts and raising wages for middle-class families mean that Americans on average have more in their pockets today than they did last year after accounting for inflation.
Right? So climb off that money stack you've been sitting on and send us some. You bunch of loaded whitey whitersons. Because it's got to be the white people that are sitting on all the money, right, Ron?
That's it.
It's all of the whitey whitersons. We've all gotten richer because of the pandemic, because, you know, Trump. He wasn't done.
I'm going to repeat that. Even after accounting for rising prices, the typical American family has more money in their pockets than they did last year.
Right?
When you slow him down like that, he sounds like some voiceover dude.
It's maybe a little bit slower, but he also has that cold. Remember, he told Peter Ducey, I just caught a cold from the grandkids. I'm fine. But you've got more. Remember this, when you go to the store and when you are pulling out the debit card to pay, remember, you have more money in your pockets than you did last year. Remember that, damn it.
In fact, we're the only leading economy in the world for household income, and the economy as a whole are stronger than they were before the pandemic.
Right? It's dystopian. It's like, believe if they get up there and say it, that we'll believe it. Oh, yeah, things are much better than they were before. I mean, remember when that old, that Trumpy guy was in there? Things weren't really better. You just thought they were. Now they're really better. Don't they feel better, Ron? Do you feel better?
I feel much better.
Oh, I feel so much better. Could be the lithium they're pumping into our water system.
Applications for new small businesses are up 30% compared to before the pandemic.
Right.
Thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we're cutting child poverty in America by more than 40%.
Wait a minute. Child poverty. Are children not earning enough in this economy? I think we're paying children far too much. Child poverty. I guess children can live in poverty, but technically children, I mean, don't you have to be a wage earner to be classified as in the poverty class? Maybe I'm stupid that way. I mean, seriously, kids, I know kids can live in poverty, but the way he made it sound was that, kids, we're increasing the wages of kids so that they, they have above poverty level wages. Oblivion flickering. Biden was just confusing an historical event with the 60-year war between his left and right hemispheres. He's out there like last year's Easter egg. But what do we do? This is technically Obama's third term. Biden is just a puppet playing the part. That's exactly right. That's all it is. Obama found a way to do it. He said he was looking for a way to do it. He found a way to do it. And again, credit where credit is due. He did it with the help of the Uniparty, like Donna were discussing. It's the Uniparty. The Democrats, the Republicans, it's the freaking Uniparty. They're all one big machine, and you have these outliers, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Matt Gaetzes, the Lauren Boeberts, all of these people who are outside the system, Trump, and even Trump may be a little inside the system. Hell, I don't trust anybody anymore. Except you. You, I trust. You know who you are.
Clear.
Biden von Munchausen.
You right there.
You. And compelling. Ooh. Omicron. It's been here for who knows how long. Boy, are they creepy or what? They are the creepy McCreepersons.
They are. And now they're looking at somebody who is a person of interest for allowing them to come by the house
and hide.
While
Did
they were,
hide?
Yeah, I think so.
Trump is a 33rd. Third. Not 30. Let's see. For the sensationalism of 5 Donald Trump statues. Yeah, You're right, Max. Who's that?
Who's what?
That voice.
That did the Christmas thing?
Yeah.
Somebody I hired.
Get yourself the very best in betting
Why?
supplies today.
You seeing somebody else? You know what? Do I have to find out about it
What are you talking
in the
about?
news? I have to find out about it in the news.
This is your Liberty Minute for
Wow.
Monday, day 631.
You know, if you're going to
15 days
cheat,
slow
try to be
start.
a little.
631 days. Does anyone really care that the Omicron variant is in a third of
We
states?
got 11 new
Bipartisan
stingers for
policy
Christmas
setters said that the federal
What?
government could
From
start
a-
missing bill payments by December 21st
from a
if the
group
debt
that
ceiling
does
isn't raised.
Christmas
Just like
stingers.
every year, right before the Christmas break, Congress
That's
will pass
good.
some huge bill stuffed full of BS. Hey, Congress, if you would pass a complete budget on time, this wouldn't happen every year. And if you cut spending, you might not have to raise the debt ceiling. You know what? Cutting out of control spending would help we the people a lot more than raising the debt ceiling. Cut spending and the record inflation might slow down. Cut enough spending and we the people might get lower taxes. Oh, there's the rub. We the people can't be controlled if the government gets off our backs and out of our wallet. Until tomorrow, protect your liberties. Once they're gone, there's no getting them back.
If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty. We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
All right, let's see over here on the Twitters. B from the SAV. Maybe people should use their iPhone and post to TikTok the problems they have with China and their human rights violations. That'll show them. Exactly. See, here's the thing. If we really do take on, and who was it that said, was it Levin? Talking about that we're in the hot war at this point with China. We just haven't, the missiles haven't launched yet.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible. But none of us want to believe it. I mean, I don't want to believe it. Do you want to believe it?
Well, here's the thing. We're probably closer to a nuclear war like that than we were in the Cold War back in the day. But we're not teaching kids duck and cover anymore or anything like that.
And we've moved past that. Now you want to put on your PPE.
Yeah, I guess.
Put on your, spend some time. All right, kids, jump into your full body suits and put on your mask because that's the equivalent of.
Or they
getting
finally
under the
just got
desk.
smart and realized that being under a desk isn't going to help you worth a damn.
Right. Bobby and Susie know that when they see the bright flash, quick, get under a blanket. That'll protect you from the radioactive fallout.
If you can't see it, it can't hurt you.
That's true. Why are you mentioning that? I mean, we all know that. If you
I
get
used to-
underneath the covers, you can't.
You can't be hurt.
Right. It's the knife's not going to come through. All right. So it was Georgia Peach who was just saying that she had heard that Trump was a third-degree Mason. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. But all the way back to 2016, they were putting up those statues around the country. The statues.
Yeah.
Of Donald Trump. He was naked and he had a Masonic ring on his finger. I mean, I don't know if he's a Mason. Maybe not. I somehow doubt that Donald Trump is, but could be. But, and maybe he did do his part. I don't trust anybody. It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Really
there's
sad.
a lot of stories out there, asking the question, is he a Freemason?
And Donna,
interesting.
when Donna Fiducia mentioned, Trump needs to stop pushing the vaccine, did he do his part? Was that his part? And I don't know. I really don't. I do know one thing. If you watched over the weekend the Capital Punishment, the movie, and hopefully those of you that we gave the copy to watched, and if you believe that it is worth sharing, I mean, don't share it if you don't believe it. If you don't think it's heinous, what is happening to those people, and the reasons behind why these protesters, patriots, are being demonized, don't share it. But if you do, please get the word out to as many people as you can, because again, I think Nick Searcy did a fabulous job putting this together. And when you see what's happening to these people, when you see the real story of January 6th, it's, I would say it's amazing.
Well, there's a lot more footage in that movie than people realize.
Right.
There were thousands and thousands of hours of footage.
Yes.
But he's got some in this.
I'd never seen it.
That was the first time I'd ever seen Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah, I know. And
speaking.
And when you see what they did to, gosh, I can't remember the guy's name, but he went there with the other dude, who has the family that's now homeless.
Oh yeah,
Ken.
I don't remember his name either. But they freaking
FBI.
Both of those guys got the visits.
I mean, and these are guys who went there,
and you see
as medics,
security camera footage of these raids on these people's houses by the FBI.
Right.
And it's just disheartening to think
that could happen to anybody.
These guys were there as medics. That's literally all they were there for. They didn't neither one of them even go in the Capitol.
Nope. And it was entrapment. I mean, I'm sorry. The whole thing was entrapment. The way that it was set up, the way that the doors were opened by the Capitol Police, the way. And did you see with John Sullivan? Remember the guy who captured the moment that Ashley Babbitt was shot? Did you see what he told those cops beforehand?
Just go home. Go home.
Why did they leave? Why did those cops leave when John Sullivan's up there telling him to go home? And when you watch the movie Capital Punishment, themovie.com, I still do not understand that. Do you?
No.
He walks up to the guards, to the police that were at the door where Ashley Babbitt was. Well, go home. You guys go home. And they left. Is that what you saw?
I don't recall that it was at the door where Ashley Babbitt tried to get through.
You don't?
I recall it was in the Capitol. He was telling them to leave because, quite honestly, and he was answering questions to the girlfriend that he had with him.
Oh yeah,
going, we did it. We got it done.
Right.
We did it.
And this guy is a Black Lives Matter and Antifa guy. And he was there. He was the one who sold his story to NBC and CNN for what, 80 grand, something crazy.
A lot of money.
And then theoretically had that money taken away from him. Who knows? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Look, that was the cleanest video I had ever seen of the Ashley Babbitt shooting.
Right.
It was crystal clear. Yeah. And there's no question that the guy shot her point blank.
Yeah. The whole thing is...
It was just sad because her husband speaks in this movie.
Did I not tell you that would tear your ass up?
Tear me up. Man.
I don't even know what to say to the guy.
Well...
And the dog.
Spoiler alert, the dog, that hurt my heart too.
Yes. I told you that would...
Yeah.
That would get you. But if you have not had the chance to see it, and I told Nick, he said he's been being shadow banned across the interweb, so... Do what you can. If you can, it's $10 to watch it, and I think you can watch it forever. It's not like you've got 24 hours to watch it.
No, I think it stores it in your account there.
Right. So, and he, Nick produced it, and I think he did a great job. It certainly seems.
Nick was funny. He's like, I hauled my 62-year-old ass up on this horse.
Right.
He rides a horse quite a bit through there.
Yeah.
And he gets shot quite a bit.
He does. He gets shot a couple of times, which is seems painful. But if you have the chance, it's again Capitol Punishment, themovie.com, and give it as a gift. Merry Christmas. Here.
Yep.
because if we continue down this road, we are totally hosed. But this all, and I was watching last night on Showtime, because right now you can get Showtime for $4.99 a month for 4 months. Watch a bunch of stuff and then cancel. But the Oliver Stone, remember the Oliver Stone movie JFK?
I do.
And then, so he's done a follow-up. And this is all this stuff is tied together. It's that 3.5 hour. Did you ever watch the 3.5 hour thing I sent you? No, you didn't.
No.
No one does. You know why? You just don't care. You don't care about the country, but it's okay. And it does. No, you have to, first of all, you have to watch it at double speed because it's more about listening, and you have to do it in chunks. A half hour here, half hour there. But it's all connected. The Bushes and the Clintons. And
you know what? I did watch that, Brad.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Bethy Knott that never watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. As a matter of fact, I think I got it from somebody else. But it was...
it's all connected.
It is all connected, and it's scary how connected it is.
And it sounds crazy. It sounds like you are an Alex Jones wackadoodle conspiracy theorist when you start looking at these things. But there's really no other way to look at it other than, okay, this stuff really is connected. But
Yeah,
no one wants to say that because you sound like a crazy person.
I'll tell you off the air, maybe, but I got some news this weekend about something that occurred 20 years ago that is from a very reliable source.
Let's see. I wonder what happened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And again, that wouldn't surprise me either. None of this is surprising when you look at how all of this stuff is played out. When you look at where we are and what we're going through and what as Donna mentioned, these animals have let us see who they are over the course of the past 5 years. We now know what they are and what they're capable of doing. And they're capable of doing anything. And that's the most disheartening thing is nobody wants to believe the government of their country would come after you and do these heinous things that they are doing to the people who were there on January 6th at the Capitol. But when you see what the U.S. I mean, it makes no sense to roll up on these people's houses with 30 military officers and all of these the big trucks and everything else and bust the door on Simone Gold.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you? What is Simone Gold going to pull out a bazooka and shoot you? It makes no sense. Let's just say
it's a government show of force. That's all it boils down to.
Simone Gold is like, as far as I can tell, she's still on a no-fly list.
Yeah.
Even if she is just wackadoodle crazy, suggesting hydroxychloroquine, why does that put her? Why is she so dangerous that she has to be on a no-fly list?
Brad, they're all considered by our government as domestic terrorists.
Right.
That's the point.
It is, and by simply saying what we're saying right now, I think we would be considered the same.
Probably.
Or at least aiding and abetting, because they don't want any of these, any ideas from anybody like you moving forward. They get too big for your britches. You think that this government has become too powerful. You want to do something about it. Well, they want you to remember what they did to all those insurrectionists on January 6th. They put them under the jail and treated them like absolute
and they're still
horseshit.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it may sound crazy because it is crazy, but that doesn't mean it's not true. And when you start looking into these things, and then I can't remember what that 3-hour thing is called.
Fall of the Cabal.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not all that out of the realm of possibilities that crazy things have been done by our government. And that, again, that's with the Oliver Stone thing with JFK. When you really start looking at what the magic bullet, do you know the 3-shot theory? You know, there had to be 3 bullets. That was it. Just 3.
Right.
You know, and I don't, call me stupid, call me naive, call me wacky, whatever. Do you know why the FBI and the government had to stay with the 3-bullet theory?
Because they only found 3 shells.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the. So they bring that. They have the 3 shells.
And if he was the single shooter,
Right.
and those were the 3 shells found, then that
Right.
must be that there were 3 shots.
Right. Only could be 3 shots.
Yeah.
They cornered themselves, and it was who was the senator who came up with the magic bullet theory that it went through Kennedy and went to the left.
Yeah.
And course corrected several times, and then the bullet fell out on the gurney at the hospital
And was pristine.
Right. When you look back, and maybe it's just the 50 years that have gone by, but when you look back, it's like, how did we ever even believe that? Because we didn't want to believe that our government would do
our
something.
government would do something like that.
Right. This is America. Things like that don't happen in America. Things like that happen in, third world shitholes somewhere. They don't happen in the United States, land of the free, home of the brave. That's just crazy talk. But guess what? It is, it really is, it's spooky what could be happening out there. An original Georgia piece says, check out the sequel. There's a sequel to it? And Squatchy Duck, any chance you could let us watch the movie instead of talking about it? Well, how about you climb off your lazy ass and watch it then? Because we've been talking about it now for a few days. Does he just want to be muted again? I'm guessing he does. Speaking of being muted, the quiet laser's over at Romika Designs. They are not going to be muted anytime
No, we're
soon.
not. Nope.
Because they're running. Are you running 24/7 yet?
Not running 24/7, running like 18.
Have you hired a bunch of illegal aliens?
We have not. It's just this one. Just
Okay.
this guy right here.
Yes, yeah. 2 thumbs.
Yeah, but we're making progress, and we've got the majority of all of our Christmas orders out and shipped already. We still got a few that we're working on. We will probably stop taking Christmas orders around the 14th or 15th because we've got to be able to get them done, get them shipped before we leave on vacation on the 18th. So we've got to get that done.
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
You're going on a vacation?
Yeah, sure am.
The hell you are.
Yeah,
Did
buddy.
you clear this through HR?
Going to Disney World. Shoot me in the head right now.
Wow, I was going to say, have fun.
I'm going to need a vacation from my vacation. My wife and daughter have this planned out to the minute. But yeah, we are rocking and rolling. The dot cutting boards are flying off the shelf. I'm sending out 16 more of the ornaments, the Mojo ornaments today, and I've got several more that need to be completed. So if you're waiting on yours, please be patient. It's on its way.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. And that's all Ron Phillips has, is time. Well, for the most part, except for that one thing that
That's true.
not going to talk about.
RomikaDesigns. Thank you.
RomikaDesigns.com. You're welcome. You owe me a Coke. Jinx.
Yeah.
So Chris Cuomo, elephant in the room. He's out. He got fired. He's gone. No longer at CNN. But do you know why? You know why they fired him?
Because he was trying to seek help for his brother from.
Well, maybe.
Okay, but then he had another. Then somebody came out and claimed sexual against him.
Yep. Yesterday it was revealed the CNN star Chris Cuomo was terminated from his position Saturday evening, days after he was accused of sexual misconduct by a former junior colleague at another news network. We do not have word on who this might be. Accusation brought forth by prominent attorney Deborah S. Katz, who's representing the anonymous accuser, according to the New York Times. It's hard again to know who the good and the bad guys are at this point, isn't it? You got the New York Times, you've got Chris Cuomo, CNN. I mean, it's almost like they're eating themselves, eating each other. By Friday, I was in discussions with CNN about providing documentary evidence of my client's allegations and making my client available for an interview with CNN's outside counsel, wrote Katz. Cuomo was placed on suspension indefinitely back on November 30th. Gosh, was that just like a week ago? Things happen quickly in the news cycle these days. This, of course, following the evidence that was released by the new New York Attorney General, Letitia James. Actually, she's not new, is she? She's been around for a bit. That revealed that Fredo had a larger role in advising his brother, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, than previously thought. So he'd been out there trying to squelch the rumors. Well, not even the rumors. He'd been out there trying to tamp down the facts, trying to get all of his media buddies to, hey, say on the allegations, hey, and the him and way, they're all oars, hey, right? So he said, I would, when asked, I would reach out to sources, other journalists, to see if they had heard of anybody else coming out, Cuomo told investigators. I mean, this would never be an opportunity for him to get out there and shut him down. Of course not. DeRosa, who is Melissa DeRosa, Chris was actively in touch with her. She was Andrew Cuomo's top aide and gave her full statements to be used by Andrew, as well as leads into the accusers. So he would reach out to other sources, find out if anybody's coming out. DeRosa had contacted Cuomo at one point to ask him if he could check with his sources about a rumor that Politico was working on a story that included additional allegations or accusations against his brother. Man, these two, they were on top of the world, weren't they?
Well, they thought they were.
They were looking down on creation. The only explanation they could find. Right. Yeah. Is the love that they'd found ever since you'd been around. But my, how the mighty have fallen. So it looks like now this is the end of Chris Cuomo and his career. Who knows? These people, I mean, CNN rehired the masturbator. Well, actually never fired the masturbator. So imagine what kind of information is about to come out about Cuomo. If the masturbator never got axed, if Tubin could keep on tubing and have no problem, what is it that is so bad that Cuomo had to go? Right? I mean, was the Tubin incident a victimless crime? Was it a crime? Did he know he was doing it? Don't you know that entire time was spent finding out, hey, can anybody prove he did it intentionally? Was he just stupid? But was it victimless? Good question.
Was it victimless? That's a big, yeah.
Is it a victimless crime to have that happen? I mean, there are people traumatized every day, according to the left. You know, people needed safe spaces and rescue puppies and everything else when Trump was elected. One thing's for sure, they better not spend time at the drive-thru at Burger King. Burger King is now going to axe a bunch of menu items because their drive-thru times have gotten too slow. Their drive-thru times have declined significantly since the pandemic began. In response to streamlining the drive-thru experience, certain menu items will be eliminated. What, you ask? He noted the fast food chain would be adding technology to stores such as digital menu boards, make drive-thrus even more efficient. There was no mention if automation and artificial intelligence would be added to the kitchen to alleviate labor shortages. We suspect that whatever menu items get axed by corporate, angry customers will take to social media about the changes. So they're not really telling us exactly what they're going to get rid of just yet. But I'm going to guess, and Ron, tell me if you think I'm wrong.
Okay.
It's going to be the stuff that takes longer to make.
Probably.
I have, it's just, that's
Yeah,
just a guess.
On the Dr. Doug Ramsey show yesterday, we were talking about stores like Popeyes and Burger King and stuff like that, who just cannot keep staff right now.
Right.
They just cannot keep people employed. And so they're having to cut back on menu items and things like that. But
How hard is it though? You go to freezer, get the box, put box in the microwave, push button.
yeah.
Isn't that how it works now?
In most cases, yes. But
I mean-
in some cases, it takes a while. These are flame broiled burgers, Brad.
Well, and you can't speed up flame. I mean, can you? I mean, I guess you could do like they do it in.
Quite honestly, I think they put something on them to make them taste flame broiled.
They do, and that
And
stuff.
it's-
Does
and
that
it's
make
funky.
you burp?
Yes.
It gets
It's
does the same thing to
funky.
me.
Yep.
I'm tasting that like hours later. So whatever they use to make it taste flame broiled, it doesn't. Because it just hours later I'm like, whoa, that tastes horrible. So maybe they could come up, in a world where we can get all of these other magnificent things to happen, cell phones and 75-inch flat screen televisions for $1,000. Can we not come up with a way to flame broil a damn burger without making have us indigestion in 2
Correct.
hours?
Yep.
Is that asking too much? Where else do you get the variety of topics such as you get here on the Daily Mojo? Anywhere? I say nay. Nay, then is coming up next.
A free exchange of ideas.
Clear.
Shit, I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. Nay.
Nay. And Nathan.
Nathan.
Some of the finest talk radio programs and this show. Right?
And this show.
Omicron.
Oh. CNN's reporting
What?
New York to mandate COVID vaccines for all private sector workers.
Really?
By December 27th.
Where are you seeing that? Aha. Right there,
CNN
breaking
just
news.
posted it, yeah.
What the heck? All private sector employees will now be required.
Okay, Nathan.
What happens if the workers in that supply chain refuse the vaccine?
Nathan?
Hey.
Hey. Hang on, we got about 30 more seconds, and I've already warned everybody, it's always the quiet ones. How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh. The only problem I have these days is knowing where to stack the $100 bills. I mean, it's really...
You're a liar.
It's the problem of the age, isn't it?
It sucks. I just don't know. I don't know what to do about it.
All right, back in 8 seconds.
Stand by, Nathan. Hang on.
The Daily Mojo.
B from the SAV. Go to freezer. Grab box microwave. Brad just described a 25-minute process for today's American. Plus, you did not factor into their break from all that hard work. There was an old.
That's true. That is true.
There was an old pizza. I can't remember what pizza joint it was. No, not Pizza Hut. Domino's. No, it was. Anyway, back in the day, that was the competition that they would always have. Go to freezer, get the box. That's how their competition.
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
Go to freezer, get the box. And that was their ad. And that's how absolutely genius that ad was. I remember it. I just don't remember who it was for. Yeah. You see, there's a big difference. And did you say this before we went into the break, Ron, or this headline over at CNN?
Yeah, it was in the break.
New York to mandate COVID vaccines for all private sector workers.
By December 27th.
Holy shnikes. All right, so we'll get to
De
that
Blasio's
here.
losing his shit.
This, we could use a little Christmas, couldn't we?
Can't we please?
We could use a little Christmas, which is why it is so important. And Nathan Nipper is here with us. Nathan, first of all, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, pretty good, Brad. Thanks so much for having me on.
Are you kidding? It's nothing. It's nothing. Wait until you get the invoice. When you get the invoice, let me just tell you, I would walk by, and I've known Nathan for a number of years now, and every time I would walk by his desk, Nathan is he's the quietest. He's always got his head. He's always working. He's that type. He's that type of guy. And it's always the quiet ones you got to watch out for because they've always got something going on. But you have written this book. Hold on a second. It is the most wonderful time of the year, right? You've written a book called Life on Christmas Eve. It is a novel by Nathan Nipper, which is strange because that's you. And this book goes back. I mean, you started this book a long time ago. When did you start writing this book?
Oh man, this thing has been plaguing me for like a decade. It was strange. I used to do some screenwriting back in the day, Brad. I say it was minor league because it was like basic cable type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It
paid
the
bills.
It paid some bills,
there
yeah. And I started it as a screenplay years ago, and I thought it was maybe going to get made, but some fell through at the last minute, as happens most of the time when you're in the screenwriting world.
Right.
And so the story, I had some good feedback, from some friends and a few people who had read it. And so I kind of hung around in the back of my mind for a long time. And I thought, maybe I should try to write a novel, turn it into a novel. And that was way back in 2009. So I didn't start trying to turn it into a book until about 6 years ago. And then, so it's been a marathon process. I've never really had a story hang around this long in my mind.
It's been a baby that needed nurturing and love and some care. By the way, I like the beard. You look very butch.
Oh, thanks.
Hey,
You
what's
look very butch.
the book synopsis, Brad?
Well, let's have Nathan tell us what the book synopsis is. What's the book about,
Yeah.
Nathan?
So the concept is about a 31-year-old small-town woman who, like a lot of millennials, she's never seen It's a Wonderful Life. So she watches it for the very first time. And shortly after she does, starts to notice some unusual similarities between some things that happened to her and things that happened in the movie. And so her quest to sort of figure out why these things are happening and what it might all mean, if anything, leads her to an encounter with a stranger on Christmas Eve. And so there's a sort of, hopefully a surprising, uplifting ending. It's a quirky, fun story, I think.
Right.
But that I hope packs sort of an emotional punch in a good way by the end.
Right. Not like a two-fisted punch to the face. I got you.
Right.
Is it? I mean, because it sounds a little. And I guess when you think about it, and no one ever really does think about "It's a Wonderful Life" as being a supernatural movie, but it is. So this has an element of the supernatural to it, you'd say.
It does. Yep.
But it's happy.
Yeah.
It's got that underlying happy. The tone is happy at the end.
Right. No, it does. It definitely, delves into some spiritual themes, of faith. The main character, sort of this craving for answers that I think a lot of people, most of us, if we're honest, that we have about our own lives and about what's going on around us, and sometimes you get answers, sometimes you don't. And when you don't, how much do we still trust God if you're a person of faith? So I delve into that and some other concepts, like the concept of grace has a lot to do with a big role to play in this story. Man, if there's one thing the pandemic has taught us the last couple of years, we have a pandemic of a lack of just general grace. I mean, you don't have to be a person of faith to understand that concept, right?
Isn't that the truth?
And, it's something, grace is something that we crave for ourselves and are stingy with giving out to others a lot of times. And, man, America has seen that in a big way over the last couple of years. So, yeah, there are some spiritual themes in this for sure.
It's Nathan is one of those people who is kind of the eternal optimist. That's the way I've always seen Nathan. He's and you are. I mean, you're one of those people I have often admired from afar. And Ron, you could take note of this. Because he just seriously, he's one of those people who does his job day in, day out, and he never complains.
Yeah.
Never complains. He's just there, his nose to the grindstone. He does it day in, day out, and he's like a constant. He's one of those people that you can kind of base reality on him because he's always there. It's not this roller coaster ride. You're just very steady, and that's an admirable quality to have, Nathan. I really, truly, and I'm not kidding. I've always admired that about you.
I really appreciate you saying that, Brad. Although you might want to check with my wife before.
That's true. I don't have to live with you. That's the beauty of it, and that's what I would often tell Keith Malinak about Carrie. I love your wife, Keith. Then again, I don't have to live with her, so there's that.
Right.
But it's true, and it's why that's why this is so exciting. Because if I wish you all of the most success with this. The book is called Life on Christmas Eve. And I find it interesting that a lot of millennials aren't familiar with with It's a Wonderful Life. What's that about?
Yeah, I mean, even in my generation, and I'm not as young as I look, Brad. But,
Shut up, I don't like you anymore.
No, there's always been this sort of undercurrent of, it's a black and white movie kind of attitude.
Right.
And I think that's even more prevalent with each subsequent generation. And so, but people are missing out. I mean, this is like, it's such a cultural touchstone of a movie that it's kind of it's been parodied so much, obviously, that you kind of maybe tend not to take it so serious. But if people haven't seen it before, or you haven't seen it in a really long time, I mean, this is a deep, often dark movie.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
That has some profound things to say about life. I mean, there's a reason that it's a classic. It's not just for the goofy stuff that we make fun of, but it really has it's a powerful movie still.
Yeah, Beth Enot, if she doesn't see it at least once a year, she goes into withdrawals.
Yeah.
So, and I think here locally they still do it or not. Over in Grapevine, Texas, they at Christmas time they were projecting it up on the big screen, and if you have a chance to see it there, it's always fun to do as well.
Yes.
All right. So the book again is Life on Christmas Eve. It's the story, and I saw the trailer. Did you produce that? Who produced the trailer for the book?
Well, it's another person that Brad, our friend Bowie Middlestat produced that.
Did Bowie do that? Good for her.
She did. Yeah.
I've been sucking up to her for years, so I'm hoping that one day when she's like in charge of Paramount Studios that she'll remember us little old folks and hire.
Same.
She did an amazing job on that. Who is it? Who is that in the trailer?
We did not shoot that, so she just found that stock footage. It was amazing because it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, it is. Whoever that is has beautiful eyes. So, I thought the trailer for the story for the book is just amazing. So good for you, good for Bowie, and remember us little people when you are rich and on your way to fame and extraordinary wealth. Again, Nathan Nipper, the author of Life on Christmas Eve. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being who you are, and continued success. And give a big hug to that big lug you probably still sit next to, Jason.
And Merry Christmas.
Will do. Will do. Thanks so much, Brad.
Absolutely.
See you.
It is. Does this music just not make you just want to chill?
It does.
I can't even get. I just want to talk about the book now. Life on Christmas Eve. It's available at wherever you buy books. I found it over on Amazon.
According to his website, Bookshop, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
Although if you can find a way to benefit a small town bookstore, that would probably be a very nice thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not kidding. That's just. Couldn't we just for the rest of the program just do this?
Be fine with me.
It's just so peaceful. It really is. Okay, shut up. Back to the world at hand. So New York is mandating COVID vaccines for all the private sector workers up there. This is just fabulous. You will now be required to, the private sector employers in New York City were required to implement a COVID-19 vaccine mandate by December 27th. Public sector workers were already subject to vaccine mandates. Could they any worse, New York? Could they, I mean, I really had hoped someday I could go back to Manhattan, but I guess not.
Right, but I guess not. That's the same with me. I didn't even really like the first trip there, but if you're a New Yorker, you're being forced into prison. I mean, that's what that is.
The new move, which de Blasio announced this morning on MSNBC, means everyone who works in the city will now be subject to a vaccine mandate. The more universal they are, the more likely employees will say, okay, it's time. I'm going to do this, because you can't jump from one industry to another or one company to another. I mean, this is bizarre. Stop and think about that. You can, I mean, is there a, adults will now be required to show. Adults will now be required to show proof of 2 vaccinations for those areas. This is children aged 5 to 11 in New York now also be required to show proof of at least 1 shot before being allowed access to indoor dining, fitness, or entertainment. This is really weird. This is dystopian as hell.
I'm going to just guess that somebody's going to force somebody's going to force it, and a judge is going to put a stay on this.
You think?
Well, I don't know if they even have time, but de Blasio's term expires in a couple of weeks.
The mayor is confident that the mandates will hold up in court. Our health commissioner has put a series of mandates in place. They have won in court, state court, federal court every single time. It's because they're universal and consistent, and they're about protecting the public right now from a clear and present danger. What is the fudging danger? What is the what in the hell does the vaccine protect against? People who are fully vaccinated are getting it.
How many?
They're dying.
Take a guess, percentage-wise. How many unvaccinated people live in New York?
I wouldn't have a clue. Do you have a number?
I can tell you that the unvaccinated number of people who live in New York will drastically reduce by either getting vaccinated, which very few of them will, or packing their shit and getting out.
Was it 70% vaccinated? I don't know. I have no idea. None. Do you have a number, or is it?
I'm looking. I was asking you.
Oh, you were asking me. I don't know. But the thing is, it's like when the president said, "Wow, you know what? When we fired all those the vaccinated people, or when the airline fired all those vaccinated people, the rate of vaccination went up."
15 million people.
Yep.
78% of the state has received at least one. 68% has been fully of the state.
State.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is just New York City, so who knows?
Yeah.
It's maybe it will be upheld. I don't.
NYC.
This may be the last dying gasp of their effort to make this happen. It's possible. They're not giving up. That's for damn sure. They're not giving up by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to continue this. It's going to, let's be frank, in PA, Comrade de Blasio can take a long
How long before the New York governor decides she's going to do the same thing?
Is this their Hail Mary? Is this what they do? And
either that or de Blasio's looking for a job in the Biden administration.
Maybe that's it. because this sounds absolutely insane. What they need up there are pillows. Lots and lots of pillows.
Lots
for
of pillows.
And there is a huge flash sale right now. If you go to mypillow.com, click on radio listener specials, and then use the promo code Mojo50, you can get, during this flash sale, regular price $70, $69.98 for the classic MyPillow. You can get it right now for $20 with the promo code Mojo50. What?
I think we have a caller on line one, Brad. It's Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken. All righty. Caller.
You don't know the joke?
I am not sure.
Sorry. The Pickle Squirrel sent that. I'll give her credit. Snake Plissken, Escape from New York.
It's, hello?
There is not a caller.
There's no caller?
I was joking.
You're joking?
Oh,
Was that
my
funny?
God. Oh, my God. Jeez, come on.
At least have somebody there.
Half the audience got that joke. The other half still going, who the hell is Snake
The
Plissken?
retarded half. Y'all just enjoy.
MyPillow.com.
MyPillow.com. Promo code Mojo50, the official pillow of Snake Plissken.
Snake.
That's what I just said, Snake Plissken.
You kind of said sneak.
You don't know what the hell I said. You have
The
no
Daily
idea.
Mojo.
You know, it's all about timing. That's it. The Omicron.
Omicron.
Or is it Omicron? COVID strain is gaining a foothold. Now, would you see that in 6 states? The 6 states are a third of the states. It's like all over the country. And we haven't even noticed.
17.
Yes. 17. And no one's even noticed. You know why? Because it's a big, flat. That's all. They gave it a great name, which the president immediately screwed up. It may unseat Delta as the dominant strain. And again, remember that in South Africa, where the variant was original, we can't call it the South African variant because that would be racist, right? Let's not forget that. But it's the health ministers there were like, yeah, you get a headache and you have a fever. Well, not really a fever. I mean, I guess. But there's nothing there. Most patients didn't even know they had it.
Correct.
It was discovered incidentally while they were in the doctor's office for other issues.
Wisconsin Jacko. Who's Snake Plissken? Oh, my God.
I remember Escape from New York. I just don't remember Snake Plissken. I mean, that was Kurt Russell.
That was Kurt Russell,
Right.
yeah.
But I remember, you know what I remember about Escape from New York? Kurt Russell. I don't remember his name being Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken.
But that's okay. That doesn't mean it's not still a good
SD
joke.
Bob Snake Plissken.
So they're again now do you understand? And again, call me thick, call me stupid. I mean, don't necessarily have to do that, but you know, in the beginning, it's like testing. We've got to get it was like, why are they so hell bent on testing? Oh yeah, because why don't we test for influenza?
True.
If we tested for influenza every year, we would have a pandemic of influenza everywhere. But because we don't test for influenza every year, we don't have the influenza pandemic. So, and remember too, it was the PCR test that they first started using, which turned out, oh yeah, they don't really work. Wasn't it the PCR test that couldn't tell the difference between?
Well, it wasn't accurate.
Right. Well, we don't need accuracy. We just need big numbers.
We did, yeah.
That was the, again, yeah. This whole thing has been a fustercluck from the word go, and I'm so on the edge. I don't even care if I'm going to slip at this point. But it's true. It's killed people. It's killed people I know. It's put people in the hospital I know. I have people for this. I have friends who are suffering from the long haul effects of COVID and are exhausted. So there's something to all of this. But the reaction to it, and who was it that said we're not suffering from a pandemic of the of COVID? We're suffering from a pandemic of the reaction to COVID, and the way the government has effed us so badly, and nonstop over the course of the past 2 years, and they continue to eff us.
Yeah, they created a state of fear that wasn't necessary.
Right. They effed us into B, and they continue to do us over and over and over and over and over. And all we have now is the benefit of being able to see what they've done to us and what they are continuing to do to us. And that is what really is, it's got to stop. What did James just say? That would have been show prep. Good point. Don't have time to get into the Michigan school shooting people, but boy, are they whacked out. I guess we have about a minute and a half. But what in the actual, are these people from hell? Are the Michigan, the parents, did you see the texts?
They looked like it. I mean, what was the text?
Oh, one of the texts was the mother saying, I'm not mad at you. You just got to learn how to not get caught.
Oh, that's when he got caught with the gun.
Right.
Yeah. That was, and then he went back to school the next day and shot everybody.
These people are insane.
Her next text was, "Don't do it."
Right. Don't do it. She and apparently, and according to the father's former wife, and boy, do they all. Have you seen the 3 mugshots of them lined up? It's on Fox News. When you see the 3 they've all got this identical look in their eyes. And maybe it's just me reading it in there, but they have this identical crazy
eyes.
Yeah, they've all got the crazy eyes. And they're obviously all nuts. This kid never had a chance. Apparently. So the parents met with the school officials and the kid just hours before he started opening fire, killing 4 and injuring another 7. And after they were done with this meeting, the school didn't say, "Hey, we need to check the backpack. We need to make sure everything's cool." At no time did counselors believe the student might harm others based on his behavior, responses, demeanor, which appeared calm. In addition, despite media reports, whether or not the gun was in his backpack has not been confirmed by law enforcement, to our knowledge, nor by our investigation at this time, according to a letter published by WXYZ. The letter added that Crumley's parents were told to take their son home that day, but they flatly refused and left without their son, apparently to return to work. School also reportedly told the parents they had 48 hours to find counseling for their son, or the school would contact Child Protective Services. School officials also allegedly not made aware of the family's recent gun purchase, which was from the father, reportedly, allegedly, to the son. Merry Christmas, son. Crazy-eyed kid. And then Crumley was returned to class. While we understand this decision has caused anger, confusion, and prompted understandable questioning, the counselors made a judgment based on their professional training and clinical experience and did not have all the facts that we know now. Granted, it's amazing how, and honestly, it's, hindsight being 2020. It's amazing that these school administrations and these school counselors have all the answers when it comes to things like critical race theory and everything else. But man, when their hands get dirty, look out.
Yep.
Look out.
What do you mean it's last call?
There's a happy note to leave on. Let's leave on Nathan's happy note. We'll do that. That's the end of 2 hours of your Daily Mojo that you will not get back for Monday, this would be the 6th of December, year of our Lord 2021. Did the lesson stick? Let's find out, shall we? We turn to our stick meter over at the Twitters to find out what has stuck, what has not. Florida man on safari, the biggest issue that will plague civilization for decades that no one is talking about, the level of untreated mental illness made worse by COVID hysteria.
Correct.
That is absolutely true.
Yep.
And it's been happening. And again, it goes back to I think, the beginning of the PC movement. You can't, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to, none of that, because, you know, it might make people feel bad when in fact they actually needed to feel bad to get the help that they were going to need. Shy boy in Iowa, could the look in their eye be from the tap water? They do live in the Detroit area. That's a good point. What are the odds that's going to come out? That'll be part of the lawsuit.
Probably.
What are the odds? B from the SAV. Brad is master at leaving us wanting more. Not sure that is what we want, though. You're welcome. Yes, in fact, Nathan Nipper, the book, again, Life on Christmas Eve. I truly do. Nathan is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I hope he is so uber successful with this that he can afford to adopt me one day. It'll live. And Bowie, what an amazing job she did with that the teaser for the book. Over in the Facebook chat room, it's apparently so hard that the Fight for 15 crowd couldn't hold the line in the fight. I do love jumping in on the middle of their conversations in the Facebook crowd. And Debbie, as always, bye, y'all. Have a great rest of your Taco Monday. You're very welcome. Coming up across most of these Mojo50 radio stations, next, of course, is the encore presentation of a great little show called Biggest Whorehouse in Little Texas.
No, Abnormal Realities.
Oh, is it?
It was
Oh.
our Freaky Friday edition. It was pretty freaky.
So the same thing, basically.
By the way, a week from today, Brad.
Yes.
We'll have visited ghostesses.
That's right. The Daily Mojo, of course, made possible by Ron Phillips. Right over there, spinning those dials between his little soft fingers. Remember, the smallest minority under the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. Sick, semper tyrannis, resist, stupid, and
good night,
Good night, Don Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Talk out next.
See ya.
Is that what you think about me, Ron? Is that what you think about me? No. It is.
Good morning, Mojo50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo, Monday, December 6th, 2021. Today there were no missed innuendo bells, 9 actual bells. Peace out, boys. Stay healthy. We'll talk to y'all mañana.
Will you? Will you? Or will you? Hold on a second. I'm looking for the, there it is. And the word today is?
Imp.
Imp?
Imp.
Short-mouthy person.
Imp.
You're pretty close. It's a noun. It's a little devil or demon, an evil spirit.
Imp.
Yep.
You know, it's
A
what?
little devil or demon.
Hey, look at that. That's the.
That is a wrap.
Whoa, that timed out perfectly, didn't it?